What's up, guys? Owen here from The Professional Builder, and welcome to the show. We've been working with residential building companies since 2004, and in that time, we would have helped over 2,000 build in better resilience, more profit, more time into their business, giving them true wealth. If you're here and you're looking for systems and processes, the ability to hold and retain the best people and do the best projects at the best profit margins, then you're in the right place. That's what we specialize in, and it's what we share on this show. We interview great guests, great members, great industry professionals, and we bring all of those insights and lessons and learnings to you here. So if you like the show, please like and subscribe, comment and share with your friends. If you think that there's somebody that would benefit from this insight, then share it along with them. We don't have ads on here. We don't really do any promotional stuff. All we want is for you to get the best value, and you can do that and give us feedback and give us the fuel to keep it going by liking, commenting, and sharing.
You either win me or win.
All right, welcome, John Fuller from New Life Homes. How are you, my man?
I'm doing great, man. Good to see you.
I love it. Yes, good to see you too. So today, what I'd like to talk about, John's based in Houston, Texas. I would like to talk about, you have fantastic structure for running your meetings, keeping a team on track. Before we get to that, I just want to set the scene a little bit. Can you let everyone know a little bit about your business, type of projects you do, who's in your team, what's the structure of your business, and then we can crack into the specifics on the management team.
Okay, so we have, I'm all about numbers. I always want to know people's size of their company because it helps me figure out stuff like that. So I'm sure people are going to want to know that. So 2 years ago, we were at about a $1.8 million a year company. And then in 1 year for COVID, that was 2019, during COVID, 2020, our sales doubled. So we went from 1.8 to 3.2. And at that point, that's why I jumped on board with you guys, because I sat down and looked and said, we're growing too fast. And if I don't figure some stuff out really quick, I'm going to get myself in trouble, because I've been around construction my whole life. My dad was a builder. So I knew from seeing other people, if I didn't get help, I was going to have an oh crap moment in about 6 months to a year. So we doubled in sales. We have 4 quadrants. So we do new construction. We have a roofing division, a remodel division, and a commercial division. So we kind of break it up in quadrants. New homes, we do about 3 to 6 per year. In our area, the average house build is about $300,000 to $400,000 for where we live. That's a medium grade. That's a pretty darn nice house. So just to kind of help people, give them an idea. We do about 25 to 30 remodels a year. That's additions, bathrooms, kitchens. For people, we're just breaking into the commercial market. We do about 1 to 2 projects a year commercial wise. We just finished a doctor's office. And then we do about 25 to 30 roofing jobs per year, because we do have tornadoes, really bad hailstorms here. And that's a huge market. We've kind of tapped into that a little bit.
Is the roofing one a lot of insurance work, or where's that demand?
It's all insurance work. It's probably 90% insurance work. It pays well. I have friends that do it. That's all they do. And they're $15, $20 million a year companies. I mean, they crush it. So we've kind of got our feet wet in there.
Perfect. So we've got a good opportunity there to massively grow that sector. And which of the other sectors do you feel has the biggest opportunity in your area for growth?
Right now, there's not enough homes. So houses are going up faster, people are buying houses quicker they can build them. But that comes down to a little bit of a capital. So the bank will kind of flow me. Maybe I could build 1 or 2 at a time, but I mean, we could build 10 at a time right now and they would sell. I just don't have that kind of capital yet, or investors to build that. So that's something we're actually working on, bringing some people on board possibly to build more spec houses.
We had lots of guys doing that. So you and I should have a chat just solely about that, I think.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. So that and the roofing, there's a lot of room to grow. And so we're excited about that, but it's interesting. I'm getting more phone calls right now for new builds than we ever have. I mean, I just got one yesterday. Somebody called me up and said, hey, drove by your house, saw a sign out in the front in the subdivision. We're 10 miles south of town. We just got our bank financing. Can you build us a house? I said, when are you looking to start? They said, immediately. And so I set up a meeting with them tomorrow.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
So much opportunity at the moment in the world. And as you said earlier, a lot of that is having the right systems and processes.
Absolutely.
Can you run me through who is in your business in what positions, or what positions do you have in your business? We don't have to put names to it, or you can put names to it if you want. And then what meetings do you have? Like, do you have a toolbox meeting? Do you have a construction meeting? Do you have a management meeting? And then we'll go wide, and then we'll get down to granular and specific.
So for sure. So as far as structurally, I've been kind of working that out. So that has me as president. My wife is a vice president. She works in our office 3 days a week, and then she's also the main designer. She's got a phenomenal eye for design, so she works with all of our customers on design. Then after that, we have a general manager. He oversees everything for me, and it's kind of allowed me to step out quite a bit.
Just on the GM, what difference has that made, and how has that freed you up headspace-wise, or what strategic? Are you looking up and out now instead of down and in, or how's it working?
Yeah, it's a night and day difference. So now I feel like I'm kind of out of the grind. I'm not looking at paperwork every day. I'm not dealing, there's a lot of things that will happen during the week that I have no idea about. And I find out the next week when we do our weekly meetings. So he used to run his own construction company for years. He was a really good friend of mine. His company just kind of failed, and we ended up moving into his office space. I brought him on. Really smart guy. He just didn't understand marketing at the time and didn't do a lot of marketing, where I've really tried to push hard in that area because I see that's where we're going. Super solid guy, high quality in his work. He was the only other builder that if I was too busy, I actually would send my clients his way because I knew he would take care of them and do him a good job.
And what structure of crews do you run? How many guys, how many teams, etc.?
Yep. So we do all subcontractors. We have a project manager that's underneath Virgil. He runs typically anywhere from 5 to 10 jobs at a given time for us, probably per month. If it gets over 10, that kind of stretches him a little bit. So Virgil will help there a little bit, or I will if I need to. And then right now we're building a massive, it's a 5,200 square foot barn house about an hour out of town. So I have another project manager that stays there just at that house only 5 days a week. And then I have 2 sales guys also underneath him that do just sales.
And you're taking care of the marketing?
Yes.
And who does the pricing?
Okay, so what I did is I set up a spreadsheet, especially for remodeling and new construction, that you can go through. It's literally 1 through whatever. Let's say there's 100 items. And each one is thought meticulously through. It allows the guys to go through step by step and figure out a bid typically for a remodel or for a roof. New construction, I do those myself right now. My general manager actually just did his own for first one. I had him do it, and then he brought it to me yesterday, and I walked through the whole thing, looked at the spreadsheet, looked at the numbers, and then from there, I think I made maybe 2-3 corrections, and then he went and sold the job.
Bam!
Yeah, it was awesome. I was excited for him. That was his goal was to sell $250,000 this quarter. His goal is $1 million for the year. When he lands this house, it looks like we're going to get it. It's $325,000.
Man, he's off to the races. He's beating his quarter one target.
I'm excited for him. It's awesome.
All right. Now, what meetings do you have? If we start from the guys on site, and then the specifics that I want to get into are the office, the management meeting, and or your construction meeting. So, but let's just start quickly with what site meetings do you have? Like, is there a site setup meeting each morning? Is there a Monday toolbox meeting? What do you guys do?
Okay, so if it's a remodel job, we do 1 pre-construction meeting. That is typically the general manager, and that is the project manager, and then whoever is handling the majority of that job, starting with demo. Like, we have a couple crews that will do like demo, tape and texture, different stuff. They're kind of our all-around guys. We will meet with them, and then we type out a scope of work, an SOW, and it is very detailed as far as what's going where, who's doing what we expect. We walk through the house, we give them a copy of it, and then obviously we have a copy, and we leave one typically at the project itself. And then from there, we just kind of do a walkthrough. It's always mundane as far as, hey guys, make sure the walls are taped off, make sure the walkways are taped off. And it's stuff that they hear every job, but I feel like you can never tell guys enough to make sure they clean up. And that's on the remodels.
Do you, just a question on that, do you show your supervisor / foreman what the inclusions and exclusions are, either in the scope of work or on the contract? So he consciously knows this is a variation, or this constitutes a change order. How do you go through that, and how do you ensure that happens?
Yeah, so he knows typically everything that's going on because we've talked about it either in the office at one of our meetings, and then we'll go over it again on the job site. So the scope of work, for instance, let's just say it's cabinets, one of the jobs we're doing right now. It'll say vanity is stained, but they added 6 lineal feet of cabinets in the closet, and she also wants an island. Well, he knows if it's anything after that or is added, he immediately has to call the general manager to verify that if anything is added or subtracted. And if it's added, then he's not allowed to give prices, quotes, any of that stuff. It goes to the general manager. He figures that out, and then he gets with the homeowner on a price and a change order.
Do you have a minimum amount that if it's a minor change that the supervisor or the foreman can just run through, like if it's under $500, if it's $300, etc., can he just go ahead and do that work, as opposed to construction having to be held up repetitively for these small things? Or how do you deal with the smaller ones?
Yeah, so typically there's a budget that's set that our general manager knows the budget because it's in the folder. He will go over that with the project manager and say, hey, a bid will come in, and let's just say he's got $2,000 to work with, and he calls up and he said, hey, I got a bid for $1,700. He'll give him the okay and say, no, you're fine. But he also knows that he's got a couple $100 play there to work with if something comes up, that he can use that couple $100 to make it happen, because we don't want to slow down the project. So whatever, a lot of times I tell my guys, we joke around, it says you drive the bus. We tell our project managers, you're in the car seat, you drive the bus. If you don't make it happen, nobody else will, because nobody cares about that job like you're going to, because you're driving the bus, and you need to do whatever it takes to make sure that bus keeps going.
It's a pre-construction meeting, scope of works document, brief the foreman / supervisor, and from there?
Well, from there, it's pretty much it's hands off. So once we've walked the job, we hand the paperwork off to our project manager, and from there he handles, I mean, it is all his now. Our guy is a little bit, he was a master tile layman guy, or whatever you want to call it, for like 20 years. So he had a very good general knowledge of construction, but there's still stuff he's learning. So I've been very patient with him and just told him, man, if there is no stupid question, if anything comes up, call me or call the office. But he's still a little bit in training, so he calls up, has questions. But at that point, everything's left to him as far as meeting. After we've met that first meeting, it's the football's handed off to him and he runs with it.
Who does client meetings, and how often do you do those, and what's in those? Is it weekly? Are you in them? Is it the guy running the job?
So the first couple client meetings, I'll be there myself. The general manager, it would either be myself or the general manager, depending on kind of who sold the job. If it's a design issue, my wife will meet with him also. This is all pre-construction. Once we start the job, the project manager pretty much meets with them daily, kind of gives them an update, telling them where we are and what we're doing. If they're not on site, then we pretty much talk to them about every other day to kind of keep them updated.
Are you using any project management software to keep them updated, like Buildertrend or Co-Construct?
Yeah, so I've looked into all those. The one that we're using right now, it's kind of up and coming. It's called BuildBook. The guy's super cool. He's become a friend of mine. He's helped me out on some other software stuff. They are basically building out their software to do more. It's more robust. Every 6 months, they add more stuff to it. But I've been using them, and then they're just adding a project management, like a Gantt chart and some project management stuff for their customers to see, and it launches in 2 weeks.
Oh, awesome.
And we'll be using that, absolutely, because that's a big deal for us.
And then what about in the actual office with regards to either construction and how the job's progressing, and or management meeting. How do you run the overall company? So you've got construction meeting for that particular project, and then you've got overall management meeting. So
our big meeting is once a week. We meet every Monday from 10:30 to about 12:30. It lasts about 2 hours. We started off, we get together, everybody just kind of talks about their week, their weekend. I allow everyone to, just kind of hang out, joke around, things like that. After that, we go into wins. So we ask everybody, matter of fact, I have a sheet. Everybody gets a printout that my wife prints everybody out. So we'll go through its goals and wins. So everybody has a goal for the week, and they have to tell what their goal is. That's both personal and in business. So we want to know what their company goal is and a personal goal. Yeah, and it's fun. So like sometimes Aaron, our project manager, he's been building a chicken coop for a while, so he's always looking for stuff for his chickens or something like that. You just never know. So we do goals and wins for everybody. We walk through there. We talk about that. Sometimes that takes a little bit. And then after we do goals and wins, I guess there's 6 of us going through that. Then at that point, we always ask everybody, what's the mission statement? And we talk about the mission statement every single meeting. I want everybody to know, what is our mission?
Oh, how good is that? That is awesome. What's your mission?
We add value and enhance the quality of life to everyone around us. Because for us, running a construction company is not about just taking care of homeowners. We want to take care of our subs. We like to see our subs businesses grow. We've even gone out, I've sat down with my subcontractors, helped them with budgets, ideas. I've even told some of my subs they weren't charging enough. Different things, because I want to see them as a company. I want to see them grow. So that's a big deal for us.
And do you involve your subs in your sales process? Because that's going the next step that we can talk about further down the path.
Yeah.
How to mobilize your subs as your sales force.
Yes. So currently right now we don't, but I can see where you're getting at. So that's a great conversation to have. We have had some subs send us some work, but probably not on the scale that it could be. So after that, we do the mission statement. And then from there, we have a job board in our office, 1 through about 26. Is as many jobs as we can get on there. And then we walk through each job, and the job, I've written on it from the previous week, so we know everything that's been done. We ask kind of an update from our project managers, what's been done, where are we at. We go through that, and then at that point, we talk about the process, what needs to be done next, who needs to be contacted, and where we're at. And
are you tracking both your forecast labor hours versus actual per job?
Well, I don't really, so versus like maybe a lot of your guys, we don't have, all of our guys are subs. So I know.
I'm giving you a fixed price.
I have a fixed price, yes.
Cool. Gotcha.
I know exactly where we're at.
Okay, what about work in progress with regards to, hey, we're X far through the job, have we been invoiced for the plumber, the sparky,
Yeah, so the general manager, that's one of his deals. So he provides me a whip every Tuesday for all of our jobs, and we know who and what needs to be billed out. And then also I print off a P&L on every job on Tuesdays for him and I. That's a separate meeting, obviously, but either Tuesday or Wednesday, him and I meet to go through the whip, and then also the P&Ls for each job. And then to finish up Monday morning's meeting, again, ours are they take about 2 hours. We walk through, and then after everybody's done, my wife does a printout. So like this one is, 4 pages. Everybody gets one, they take it with them. It's also inside a Google Drive, so they can access it in Google Drive anytime they want. And then on Wednesdays, today, I send out a text and let everybody know, like, hey team, great job. Just want to, it's we're halfway through the week. Make sure you hit your goals for the week, and make sure you go through your notes and everybody's on the same track, and then we hit our goals.
Okay. I love it. I love that follow-up. And how do you take corrective action? Like, if something's off track or one of the jobs is going skew, if you have a difficult client or there's a hold up in materials or a team's behind, who does it fall on? What happens?
Okay, so perfect example. We're doing a big, it was a car hit a house and we're doing the remodel. We're fixing it's an insurance job. We've been waiting on windows because of COVID. What used to take 3 weeks to get windows has taken 3 months. So that's to give you an example. So Aaron has called weekly, every week that hits the job board. Hey, where are we at on the windows? Have you called? It basically just goes down the line. I want to know, have you called? Who have you talked to? Are they on your way? That stuff's written on the board. Let's just say he didn't call for the windows. My first question is I'm very open. My guys will tell you, I just tell you what I think, but I'm also respectful. So I don't want to embarrass, but at the same time, I want to know, hey, take a crap or get off the pot. I mean, let's deal with this. So there's times where I have to ask one of the guys, okay, why didn't you do it? And they're like, well, honestly, I just dropped the ball. And I'm okay if somebody owns their mistakes. There's a book called Extreme Ownership. I read that about 2 years ago. And here's my thing. If guys are willing to own their mistakes, correct it, and move forward, then I can work with that because we all make mistakes. If you can't own it and you can't move forward, then a good friend of mine who used to have a multi-million-dollar insurance company, he used to tell people he didn't fire them, he graduated them. He graduated them onto somebody else's company. And that was his joke. And that's just how I feel about it. If you can't be corrected and you can't move forward, then we can't work together. But I don't have that issue in our business.
And I think part of the reason you don't have that issue is because you've shortened the feedback loop every week. And one of the biggest things is visibility leads to accountability. Because if it's visible and it's like, oh, Marty, you didn't call the guy. Hey, dude, job number 7, you still haven't called them. That's 2 red crosses. Like, what's going on, dude?
Yeah.
And very quickly, I don't want to be in that meeting. Go, oh, hey, John, sorry. Like, I messed up again.
Right.
But that visibility, you can be very objective. The scoreboard tells us what's working, what's not working, and who's working.
And it's fun. And as we were growing so fast and things were happening, especially as I brought in the GM and other stuff, it was funny because sometimes our job, because descriptions say something would overlap, because my general manager is a real go-getter. So if he sees a gap, he just picks up the phone and takes care of it. Well, there was meetings where the project manager was like, hey, dude, that was my job. And it was really fun to correct it because in our business, we tell everybody, stay in your lane. So then we had an issue with our project manager trying to help our clients with design. And we had to call him out in a meeting and say, hey, dude, that's not your deal. You're out. And that's Casey's job. And so we joke sometimes. We'll say, hey, man, stay in your lane. Just you do your job, we'll do mine. And work flows really well if everybody stays in their lane.
So carry on with the agenda.
Okay, so again, at that point, we just meet. We wrap up the meeting. Everybody gets their set of notes for the week. I follow up on Wednesday. The only other meeting, because of you guys, that I'm about to implement with my KPAs and KPIs is I will be doing a bi-weekly meeting with my project managers using your guys' notes and templates. And I will meet with them every 2 weeks to go over kind of how they are, how they're doing on a personal level, and then also a business level. I will meet with them every 2 weeks. Now, my general manager, I'm with him just about every day in the office. So I pretty much have a good feel. I kind of know what's going on or how he's doing or what's going on there. So we don't have a per se set meeting.
What information or reports do your people have to bring to the meeting in advance? Do they submit anything in advance that you look at, or do they come? What info do they come with?
Just their notes for the week. I pretty much know because of the software, the build book we use, they have to post every day the job progress inside the app. So I already know pretty much what's gone on. I've seen pictures, I've seen progress. They really just have to know where their job's at when they come to the meeting. So as of right now, they don't bring anything. Now that I'm going to implement your guys' templates, they will have something that they have to bring because there'll be very specific questions for them to answer.
And it gives them more ownership, more accountability that they're planning ahead.
Yeah, and I'm excited about those because I feel like it'll hold them more accountable at the same time. I love seeing people grow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal to me. And I want to see them grow. And I feel like it's going to help them grow as a person. And I'm excited about that for them.
And what's been the impact of having these meetings? Like what's it done for the team, for clarity, for your vision of where things are at, confidence, etc.?
So I want to tell guys that are starting off, when we first started these about 2 years ago, they've just gotten better. But at first I felt like I was wasting my time. I don't like to slow down, so that's a big deal for me. So it was really hard for me to think I'm going to waste an hour to 2 hours on a Monday when we could be productive doing something else. That's what I thought. Now it's funny. I love them. My team loves them. We hang out. We have a good time. We connect. Everybody's unified. We know where the bus is going, what direction, how we're getting there. I feel like meetings are a game changer because but I want to tell people that I think it's important, especially coming from somebody like me that like, man, I'm a fly by the seat of my pants. And I hate structure. I don't like stuff like that. It's hard for me, and that's been a game changer. And I can't say more how much you need it, especially if you're going to grow as a company. Because if you're not willing to grow and do those things, you're always going to be capped.
Structure, and as Jocko says, discipline will set you free.
Yeah, absolutely. All of our guys like them. It's been great. We love doing them. Actually, one of my guys told me he wished we could get together more. He said it's his favorite day of the entire week.
I love it. That's awesome. We are every quarter we also do a team fun day, like some sort of team building plus some bond over food, etc., etc. What have been your top 3 golden nuggets, 3 biggest insights or lessons in doing these to make them either better, more enjoyable, or more productive, or anything?
I got some nuggets for you, but before I share those, you need to share you need to get people on here to share their quarterly ideas, because that's something like, I think you get so caught up in the structure of your business that you don't take time to sit back and say, hey, what are some fun ideas or some things that the team would like?
Yeah.
And that might be a really cool thing to get some feedback from your team and also from the other companies of things that they do, so we all have kind of something to pull off of.
How about I do that straight after this? I'll get Kirsten to post it into the group. We are going ATV quad bike riding.
That's awesome.
All of us. And we're going out to the beach through the forest. And then we go to a vineyard in the afternoon, have dinner, have a couple of drinks and so forth.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be wicked. Yeah, so top lessons, golden nuggets.
Take action. So just a couple of things that I wrote down that I was thinking about is just do what you need to do and move forward. I always think about do the hard stuff. So in my mind, I always do the things that I don't want to do. Example, you and I have talked a little about working out. I used to compete in bodybuilding. I still work out hard. I don't feel like it, but I go. And especially in my mind, if I think I don't want to do that, the moment I think to myself, I don't want to do that, that tells myself I have to do it right now, take action and get it over with.
Success lies outside of your comfort zone. If you're still doing what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got.
Yep. One of the big things in our business, and I've said it a couple times here, is help people stay in their lanes. So being very structured is letting people know like, hey, this is your job, and not people crossing over into somebody else's lane to allow them, one, to do their job, but also to be accountable for what they're doing or not doing. Over communicate. We are huge on that. I over communicate with our guys constantly, all the time, telling them things I expect. Like, again, going back to subs, clean up, sweep, tape off walls. Like, it sounds stupid, and sometimes our guys look at me like, hey man, I know that. And I'm like, and I even tell them, I know I told you this last week, but I want to make sure you hear it again. And our guys joke around sometimes and they're like, John goes over stuff multiple times. And I'm like, hey, that's okay. You're not going to forget it when I show up on a job or one of my jobs, how I expect it. And then a big thing for me is when I was younger, I was a hothead. Now that I got 20, 25 years in business experience, I'm way more laid back with guys. And So for instance, instead of just chewing somebody's butt because something didn't get done, I take time to sit back and listen to why it didn't get done, and then to give back constructive criticism to help them as a person move forward. So instead of just getting pissed off and yelling, which I used to, and I have clients do that to me, I get it. I'd rather build somebody up, take responsibility for what they did, and help them become a better person and make sure it got done.
I love it. A couple of things that I've found that work well in meetings as well. Some granular stuff, like I found food once a week works well.
Okay.
So we might bring, something healthy or fruit or whatever, and you can rotate that. So if it's me, I'll buy a whole bunch of protein bars, or I'll go and get people protein shakes, bring them in.
Yeah.
We rotate who the note taker is.
Okay.
And we record it. So it'll be, right, Kirsten, it's your turn this week. Marty, it's my turn. Da, 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 da. We have our values for the month. So one of our values is world class. So in the meeting, it'll be great. What have you done to demonstrate world class this week, or to live world class? Well, I noticed that our fish tank was a bit dirty when I walked in. Or I noticed that our site signage was old or had the wrong logo on it. Or I noticed that one of our vans is dirty. So I cleaned it.
I like that. I love that, actually, because every company's got values, and what did you do to uphold those values? That's really good. I like that.
100%. Another one that works well in the toolbox meeting is there might be a theme for the month. So it might be productivity, or health and safety, or marketing. And it might be, everyone has, what's your idea for what can we be doing to do marketing? And if everyone gives their ideas, hey, we could have a sausage sizzle, we could sponsor the local football team, we could give out our 1% referral system on postcards, I'll deliver them in my area. And whoever's ideas gets implemented gets $50. And you might have an idea that generates, of just like site setup checklist. Maybe the hammerhand or the apprentice is going around and doing stuff that your foreman or your supervisor might have been doing. Now he has a checklist, and it took the foreman half an hour to show him once. But now he has saved half an hour every week.
Yeah, I like that.
Just getting up those jobs. And of course, the person who put that idea forth gets $50.
Okay.
And then people too feel they've got a voice, they're sharing in it, etc. We record our meetings as well, and because we do ours on Zoom, and we sit around a table because we have people in different parts of the world in our business. And we will then have one person with the actions. So we finish the meeting and we say, great, what are the actions? And we go around the table, and that person has to read it out. So I would go, Marty, my 2 actions are 1, finish the cash flow forecast, and 2, critique the info pack. So I'm taking responsibility, and I'm saying I will do that by when? I will have the info pack done, not tomorrow because I've got to go to Waiheke, but I will have it done by Monday. And I will have the cash flow forecast done by next Wednesday. So then whoever's the note taker, writes down, Marty, info pack review, Monday, Wednesday, and then we put that up on the board. So it's very visible, and then it's accountability by visibility. So that works well for us.
I'm writing all this down.
Now, are there any resources like books or things that you've used, or podcasts or tools that you've used that help in running these meetings? Like the Traction book is a great book on how to run fucking meetings.
Honestly, I feel like just what your guys's, I got those notes from a friend of mine, the kind of the action plan that I presented at the beginning of our conversation. Now I'm basically going to take TBA your stuff, and I'm going to overlap those with what we're doing, and then also they'll have some takeaways. So I'm kind of going to gel those two together with what we're already doing, and then also have them have their notes and stuff as well. So I'm going to kind of put those two together.
I love it, John. Would you be happy to share your meeting framework just with our members?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be epic. All right, my man. I thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your giving nature and spirit. You're a great person, a great member of our community. You've got an awesome business that is just going to fly. And I look forward to talking more one-on-one with you over the next few weeks to help dial in some of those areas.
Awesome, man. I'm excited.
All right, brother. I'm going to go away, have a listen to your podcast, and I hope you have an awesome day. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll look forward to talking soon.
Awesome, brother. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks for your time, John. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.